Hello and welcome to my video where I'm going to show you how to knit the 3-stitch mock cable. This is a simple knit and purl ribbing pattern with one special technique that creates the cable effect and involves knitting the 3rd stitch before the 1st and 2nd. Most of this pattern is just simple ribbing where the raised ridges are 3 stitches across, and then on one of the rows we'll do the mock cable stitch that creates a diagonal stitch that stretches across those ridges. Right, so to get started, you'll need to cast on a multiple of 5 stitches plus 2. I cast on 17 stitches using the long tail cast on, but you could use your favourite method. For row 1, which represents the wrong side or the back of the knitting, you begin by knitting 2 stitches. So make sure the working yarn is at the back and knit 2. Then bring the working yarn between the needles to the front and purl 3. Then take the yarn to the back again and knit 2. Then repeat, purl 3 and knit 2 over and over until the end of the row. Always remember that the working yarn needs to be at the front for a purl stitch and at the back for a knit stitch. Then row 2 begins with 2 purl stitches, so make sure the working yarn is at the front and purl 2. Then take the working yarn to the back and knit 3. And bring it to the front again and purl 2. And just repeat, knit 3 and purl 2 over and over until the end of the row. So that's knit 3, purl 2, knit 3, and purl 2. Then row 3 is the same as row 1, so I'll just put the pattern up on the screen. Then row 4 is where we'll do the mock cable stitch, which can be referred to as a C3 stitch, an MC or mock cable stitch, or a 3-stitch twist, and probably even more names besides. I'm not sure why it's called a mock cable really, because you are passing a stitch over other stitches, same as in a real cable, but that's what it's called in books, so I'll go with it. You need to begin the row with 2 purl stitches, so make sure the working yarn is at the front and purl 2. Then we'll do the mock cable stitch, which involves knitting the 3rd stitch, then the 2nd, and then the 1st. So making sure the working yarn is at the back, take the right hand needle up through the front of the 3rd stitch on the left hand needle, and then over the 2 stitches above. Do all of the usual steps of a knit stitch, except you don't slip the stitch off the needle. Just make sure that you completely avoid those top 2 stitches and only bring one strand of yarn through to the front, like so. Then you do the same but with the 2nd stitch. So take the right hand needle up into the front of it and over the 1st stitch. Then do the usual steps of a knit stitch, making sure to only bring one yarn strand to the front, but don't slip this stitch off the needle. Instead, knit as you normally would into the 1st stitch, and when you slip this stitch off the needle, you slip the 2nd and 3rd stitches off as well. And that's the mock cable or MC stitch completed. As you can see, it's right leaning. Then bring the working yarn between the needles to the front and purl 2. Then just repeat MC and purl 2 over and over until the end of the row. So take the yarn to the back, knit into the front of the third stitch, ignoring the stitches above, but don't slip the stitch off the needle. Then repeat the same with the second stitch. And then knit the first stitch as you normally would. And when you slip this stitch off, you slip the second and third off as well. Then bring the working yarn to the front and purl 2. Then repeat MC and purl 2 over and over until the end of the row. So that's an MC stitch, and purl 2. And that's the 4-row pattern repeat completed. And after you've worked this a few times, you should have something that looks like this, a nice cable twist rib. It looks just the same as a standard cable. And here you can see the back. And as a side note, if you want to knit this in the round, then this is the pattern you'll need instead. And that's it, that's how you knit the 3-stitch mock cable. I really hope you found this useful, and thank you very much for watching.